Um, I have a list, but I wanted to talk about one more thing that's not on the list, and that's a battle of the air in the Mediterranean that occurred. Um, we were I was on the Thomas Nuttall, which was the ship that had Captain Randall as the master, and in this voyage they had the naval officer's name was Chalmers. Chalmers. He was a young, heavyset man from the south. Anyway, we were on our way to Port Said, which is the northern terminus of the Suez Canal, and I think very often we were bringing supplies to both the British and the Americans at that time in Egypt. Anyway, we were still in convoy in the western part of the Mediterranean. They sometimes maintain the convoy setup because of the presence of the aircraft from France coming over, and also the Italian submarines. But in the eastern part, they usually dispense with the convoy, and we sailed alone. Anyway, we were steaming in the Mediterranean, heading towards Port Said. We were about uh, in the Mediterranean near Bizerte, which is part of Tunisia, which of course is part of North Africa. And suddenly the second mate was running up on my deck, which is where the captain also slept, and saying, "We're being attacked! We're being attacked!" And so of course I I started running. Normally I go to help um, the naval armed guard crew to carry the ammunition to the machine gun, the Oerlikon machine guns, 20 millimeter guns. But this time, the Navy officer Chalmers had loaned me a walkie-talkie, what they call a TBI, which I had never used and which I was quite enchanted with. So it wasn't part of the ship's radio equipment. It was something that I think the Navy furnished to the naval officer. So I had it, and I grabbed that instead, and ran up the ladders to the flying bridge, which is the highest bridge, the highest deck in the ship. And I turned it on, and I heard these voices, and they were English, American voices, and they were obviously manned aircraft from the carriers, and they were talking to each other and describing the number of torpedo bombers, Nazi German torpedo bombers coming in from France to attack our convoy, which was about 70 ships, I think, this one. And they they were coming in fast, but apparently they were being shot down fast. The crews on these merchant ships like ours had acquired quite a bit of skill in the several years that the guns were put on the ships, and they were pretty accurate. And the Oerlikon gun was a good anti-aircraft gun. So they were shooting down these planes really at a high rate. So I heard the talking back and forth, and I wrote it down in longhand and gave it to the captain. The captain uh, gave it to the blinkered it out to the commodore, on the escorting vessel, and it was about a 10-minute flight, and I learned later that it was the largest Mediterranean air attack of the war. But we had no casualties and no damage of significance to any of the ships. But there were about 30 or 40 German planes shot down. And I believe that we must have shot down one or two because we were pretty good at that time. And it was written up I have a copy in the naval official documents, and they named all the ships, and also the master's name and the naval officer. They didn't name the radio officer in that, unfortunately. So that was just a little thing that I thought. And